Welcome to the first race, your ultimate Wednesday warm-up for the 2026 F1 season.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The Shanghai International Circuit. It's more than just a racetrack, you know? It's really an engineering puzzle, a technical masterpiece that's built to push cars and drivers to their absolute breaking point. And with the massive rule changes coming in 2026, this track, well, it's going to become the ultimate gauntlet. I mean, when you have some of the best drivers in the world describing a corner as eternal, you know you're dealing with something else entirely. That's how they talk about Turn 1 in Shanghai. It's this mystifying, never-ending spiral that just sucks you in and kicks off one of the most demanding laps in all of motorsport. The thing about Shanghai is that it has a total split personality. On one hand, you've got some of the longest, fastest straights anywhere on the F1 calendar. But then it slams you into some of the slowest, most technical corners imaginable. So teams have to make this brutal choice. Do you build a car for pure straight-line speed or for insane grip in the twisty bits? Because let me tell you, you can't have both. And when we say long straights, we are not kidding. The back straight is a mind-boggling 1.2 kilometers long. To put that in perspective, that's like lining up 11 football pitches end to end. It's just a pure, raw test of power where engines are screaming at their absolute limit for what feels like an eternity. But then you're thrown into corners like the Snail complex, which is turns 1 through 4. This is a classic decreasing radius corner, which is a fancy way of saying it gets tighter and tighter and tighter as you go. So drivers fly in at high speed and have to constantly scrub that speed off, all while the car is under this immense sideways load. It's just a beautiful test of balance and pure driver feel. So the big question is, who's actually managed to tame this beast? Look, it's no easy feat, but over the years, a very small group of drivers have really figured out its unique rhythm. They've tamed the dragon and earned their place as true legends of Shanghai. And really, one name just stands head and shoulders above everyone else: Lewis Hamilton. With 6 wins here, he has more than double the victories of any other driver. It's his incredible knack for managing tires through these punishing corners with almost surgical precision that makes him the undisputed king of this circuit. He's the benchmark. And this track has been the stage for some of F1's most incredible moments. Think about it. 2006, we saw Michael Schumacher take his 91st and final career win in a wild, wet, dry race. Then in 2012, Nico Rosberg grabs his first ever F1 victory for Mercedes right here. And of course, in 2019, Shanghai had the honor of hosting the sport's 1000th World Championship race. This place just makes history. But all that amazing history, it's really just the warm-up for a revolution. Because in 2026, Formula One is basically hitting a giant reset button. We're talking a massive overhaul of the rules for the engine and the car itself that is going to completely reshape the sport as we know it. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it, just listen to the master of this track himself, Lewis Hamilton. When he says it's the biggest rule change he's ever seen in his entire career, you know this is a truly monumental shift for Formula One. Okay, so let's break down this new power unit. The engine itself is staying, but the hybrid system is getting a total makeover. The MGU-H, that super complex part that recovered energy from the turbo, gone. In its place, the MGU-K, which is basically the powerful electric motor, is getting a huge boost. We're talking nearly triple the power. And on top of all that, the cars are going to run on 100% sustainable fuels. And here's the headline figure. The power is shifting to a roughly 50-50 split between the combustion engine and the electric motor. Now, this isn't just some small adjustment. It's a complete rebalancing of where the car's performance comes from. It's going to make managing your energy more important than ever before. The cars are also getting active aerodynamics. The easiest way to think about it is like an airplane's wings. On the straights, the wings will flatten out to cut through the air for more speed. Then, just before a corner, they'll angle up to create massive downforce and grip. And the craziest part? Unlike the old DRS system, every single driver can use this on every single lap. It's a game changer. And this is where it all comes together. This is why Shanghai is the ultimate test for this new era of F1. That completely unique layout, those torturous slow corners, and that epically long straight is going to stress every single part of these new, highly complex 2026 cars. Which really brings us to the most important question. With an engine that relies so much on a battery that can run out, how on earth are these cars going to survive a 1.2 kilometer straight with the throttle pinned to the floor? Suddenly, that straight isn't just about horsepower. It's about energy endurance. So let's talk about the new race within the race battery management. Here's how it's going to work. First, on that long straight, you deploy your full 350 kilowatts of electric power to get a huge speed boost, but that drains your battery. And if you run out of juice before the end of the street, your top speed is going to fall off a cliff. So what's the most crucial step? You slam on the brakes for the next corner, and all that braking force gets harvested to recharge the battery for the next lap. It's this constant strategic game of deploying and recovering energy. Now, right before that huge braking zone, you've got turn 13, which is an absolute tire torturer. It's this long, fast right-hander that puts an unbelievable amount of strain on the tires. To put it simply, the sideways force is so intense here, it's like having 3 times the car's entire weight pressing down on the side of the tire. It's just brutal. So, after surviving that corner and blasting down that 1.2 kilometer straight, the drivers have to hit the brakes for turn 14. And when they do, they experience a staggering 5.97 Gs of deceleration. That is an almost unbelievably violent force. It's one of the most extreme braking events in all of motorsport, period. And this, right here, is what it all comes down to. This brutal braking zone becomes the single most important energy harvesting point on the entire track. If you get this section right, it doesn't just give you a good corner time, it gives you the electrical power you need to attack or defend on the very next lap. A mistake here doesn't just cost you time, it literally leaves you powerless. Which leaves us with one final thought. With its unique demands on power, on energy, and on the car's grip, Shanghai is perfectly set up to be the defining challenge of Formula One's new era. So will it be the place that crowns the smartest engineers and the most intelligent drivers? Or will its technical demands simply break the very machines that were designed to conquer it?
Subscribe now. See you next Wednesday for our next circuit warm-up on the first race.